Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I am Darren Moser and am joined, as always, by my fellow Strandees, Philip and Daniel. Daniel, are you all the way to Enterprise now? Just kidding. I know that's not. It's been a long road. It's okay.
It has been a long road. We are currently watching the episode. I don't remember the name of it because it's entirely forgettable. It's the episode where we go to Ezri's home planet and meet her family.
Oh, is that Trill?
Meet the parents.
It's not Trill. It is not Trill.
So it even more. Oh, that's right. And I want to say, I'm getting major Tendi Tendi vibes. Just in the fact that Tendi, I think, did an alien meet the family way better than Ezri did.
Well, funny you mention that because the Orion Syndicate is featured heavily in the episode. So
I would not have remembered that. Trill and Orion, they go together no, they don't. They don't.
You wouldn't remember that because, again, the entire episode, all the characters are super forgettable and boring. And also, this is the second time that the Syndicate is mentioned in this O'Brien storyline, and we never see an Orion.
See, now I'm thinking about Mission Impossible. It's like, the Syndicate have stolen the dilithium plans. You have 1 hour to recover them. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, Ezri Dax, is to navigate your upset father.
Because that was is the other episode, the Secret O'Brien episode?
Yeah, where he goes undercover and
just dealing with humans.
Most of them were humans. Yep. There was
so this is Ezri, so it must be season 7. So this is pre-amazing final 10 episodes because it feels like there's kind of two categories for
kill.
Yeah, it feels like there's kind of two types of episodes in season 7. There's oh my gosh, it's the amazing run to the finish, and I didn't even remember that was an episode, and there's not much in between.
Yeah, well, so the episode before this was the one where Nog lost his leg. So that that's pretty momentous and a pretty good episode. But this, not so much. So,
is it? And again, not watching it with you, because I assume there's to an extent hey, we've introduced Ezri. We got to do some background. We
can't just be we can't Pulaski her and be hey, we've replaced a major character and we're not going to do much at all with her.
But I guess my question is, did this add... I mean, I'm sure it's not a great episode, but did this add much to Ezri that we didn't already know?
No, not really. We
already knew that she was a very unsure young lady. Yeah. Never thought she was going to be joined, and then suddenly was, and then has to deal with that. And she's probably dealt with kind of the Worf stuff already in season by now.
Kinda, not directly.
They already slept together, and
no, they haven't done that yet.
Okay, well, never mind. Spoilers.
Nope. Yeah. But it's she. We do find out she comes from wealth, which is probably which is something I forgot completely. And
wealth
obviously won't matter again. Yes, wealth. I
was gonna say wealth in the Federation. Nobody cares.
Listen, they're talking about they speak specifically about dilithium and or not dilithium, latinum, and whatever planet they're on, they have money. So whatever.
Now I'm thinking about. Sorry,
that's good.
I'm not thinking about this. So the Trill. Because I'm going all the way back to the TNG episode, and I do not remember. Are the Trill part of the Federation? We're just assuming they are. Are they? Or are we just saying that?
I don't know.
Well, but just because you're part of the Federation doesn't mean you have to adopt the exact same economic model as Earth. I mean, it helps.
Yeah, good question. I don't
see
know
our Ferengi episode.
Yeah, that's right. In any case, she is, she's still Ezri, so it's just pretty boring. But
what about you, Philip? Any new books or anything going on in Whovian culture?
Well, lots going on in Whovian culture. It was funny, as I mentioned before, who is now available? See why I'm doing an asterisk here. Who is now available on demand on iPlayer on the BBC? Like Paramount, the home of whatever, except it isn't, because I was like, okay, I'm going to have some background while I'm doing other stuff. Let me put on the very first episode, or the very first serial, Unearthly Child. Not on there. Doesn't start with the first one. Starts with the second one, the Daleks. And I'm like, what? And so I had to do a whole YouTube video research about there's a
like why
you're not interested. Long story short is that it's a royalties issue. The writer's descendants is like an SOB and demanded like $1 million to $1 billion, and they didn't want to pay him that, and so it's not on there. But I just thought that was like ironic, like a first episode not on there. Like, okay. So I ended up buying. It was nothing, £10 or something, to get like the first 3 serials on DVD. So that came the other day in the post. But yeah, next week I think is we're gonna get the 14th Doctor. There was a little there's a charity special on TV called Children in Need, and they usually have clips from TV, and so they had one from Doctor Who, which it's funny, but it's not like a sketch per se. Like it is sketchy, but it could also be canon. So you had your sort of first official, well, other than his appearance, but 14th Doctor appearance. That was kind of cool. The long story short, it's a funny sketch because basically, like, his TARDIS crashes into the very first Dalek and takes off this like amazing multifunctional arm, and he ends up like just putting a plunger on there and then disappearing.
Get it? I get it.
Yeah.
So wait, anyway. Can I watch the new thing next week on Netflix? Is that
on Disney Plus
or Disney Plus? I mean, is that how that works? I can.
Yep. It is the Whoniverse is on Disney Plus.
Okay, so as soon as it airs, I can just go to the website and watch it. Okay.
Yeah, should be able to. And I'm interested on how much they're going to have on Disney. In other words, are they going to have the back catalog? Are they going to have just new Who? Or are they going to have like everything? I don't know.
If you want to start watching Who, you can do it either here, or here. It's a timey-wimey thing. Like
exactly. But
that's cool.
That, haven't watched any more animated. Maybe I have 1 or 2 since we last talked, but haven't gone that quickly through the animated series. So.
Well, I've been a bad fan of my favorite show because I haven't had time to watch it yet. But 2 episodes have dropped so far of the 4th season of For All Mankind, Robert D. Moore's sci-fi alternative future history. Well, still past, but yeah. So I do really want to watch that. I just haven't. I don't want to just have it in the background. I need to like sit and watch and enjoy. So. Haven't been spoiled yet because I guess nobody really cares about spoiling that show. But
and you can't do that until you finish Star Trek Resurgence. So you've got a lot.
I know. I got a lot on my plate. Lots to do.
So not to like go into news or anything, but I was, and I think you all read it if you haven't. Jonathan Frakes was re-recording for Resurgence, which I don't know if what that is for. Like, is there going to be a DLC? Or is it just like...
I didn't see that. That's cool.
Yeah. There was... this was the article.
If you could, like, just go hang out on the Titan and be, like, sign me up. I would download that in a heartbeat.
Ed Boimler would be on there, too. That'd be... Yeah. Weird. Did he just, like, randomly say, I'm recording for Resurgence?
Because I didn't see that. I saw the other article that said that he was...
in there.
Oh, I didn't read it. That's why.
Yeah. Just the headline.
That where he's going to do a Hallmark movie or whatever?
Yep.
Well, but also that he was going to be directing season 2 or season 3 episodes of Strange New Worlds.
Okay.
That's the headline.
Speaking of articles, headlines that I saw but didn't read the article of, I saw a headline that said they're working on season 5 of Lower Decks now. So that's good, right?
Yeah.
So we were a little worried about that, but maybe not
that's
much
true.
to worry about anymore.
Yeah, that's been the other interesting thing this past week is now that the strike is over, I'm seeing all these social media posts from actors of shows and stuff they've been on, like that they just couldn't talk about. So yeah, we're seeing a lot more of that, which is fun.
And then a headline that I saw that I then tried to avoid was like Section 31. Like, no, it isn't. Shut up. Don't even shut up. We'll see.
Is that like an awkward
the
day?
only article it should be is, unfortunately, due to the strike, we've canceled Section 31, and then that's it.
I know. I'm surprised we haven't gotten like 12 articles about Star Trek 4 and how that's now in pre-production again.
I think they're
maybe we'll get everybody.
I think they're kind of done with that at this point. Like I would be highly suspicious. I'd rather see it. It's so interesting though, because with movies, it's just another form of story. So like, I don't know if I necessarily want a Strange New Worlds movie. Like, what can a movie give me that, like, the budgets are so high on the shows we have now. It's not like the 90s where, yeah, this looks like television. They were cranking it out in a week, and this looks like a movie. So I'm just saying, like, the line is so blurred. You know, I like my episodic stories, and I like my, 10 episode Lower Deck seasons and stuff like that. So I don't know what a movie could give me except for a single story that happens to be an hour or two. Like, I don't know if that's actually better, but I don't know. Well, that's just me.
That's why that's part of the reason I'm like, I don't really get this whole
push for 4
Section 31, because it's like, what is it actually going to be? Like,
TV
you say it's a movie, but it's literally just going to be an episode of the show that we've already seen, but it's just a longer episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, I don't know how
it's basically taking a series and not chopping it. It's basically taking 3 episodes and not chopping them and keeping them together. Like, that's all a movie is.
Might flow better than some of the seasons.
It might.
Well, and I think if, this may be a future topic one day, I just watched a YouTuber, I mean, he's more than that, but a YouTuber who I enjoy on movies, and he did his If I Ran Marvel YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It just sounds like that's a rant, but it was actually very thoughtful. But like, it does, like, if I ran Star Trek movies, and I think, and this is just, I mean, it's obvious, but I'll say it, every Star Trek approach heretofore now has been, it's a blockbuster, even if it doesn't end up being, but that's the approach. Right. And I think you have to go, it's a media movie. That's how you have to approach Star Trek movies. It's never, I mean, I say never, but yet blockbusters, we had 2 or 3 in the 40-year history. You just got to do medium, and just because don't spend a lot, and you're going to get that much back. It's not
I'd agree.
Star Wars.
Yeah, you have to do medium, but I think, and this is probably why 09 did so well, the real thing that is different about a movie is it can be something that is accessible and bring in fans that never watched the show. Like, that's the main key thing I think a movie can do that a new show or a new special on, Paramount Plus couldn't do.
Oh, for sure.
Do you know what can't do that though? Section 31. Because it's directly.
No, I'm not saying that's going to solve that. I'm just saying, if I was given the reins and said, like, hey, what kind of movie do you want to make? I would think that in mind. Like, not that it needs to be a whole new story that has whole new characters. That, like, no, use characters we have. But, we've talked about many 2-part next gens. We've talked about, like, imagine Gambit as a movie with a little bit bigger budget and a better third act. Something like that. Yeah, I can enjoy the movie and appreciate the fact that it's got problems in the last part.
Yeah, because it's, and I mean, the 21st century is not the 20th century as far as Star Trek movies, but, like, motion pictures, as much as we dog on it, made for the time money, which got Star Trek 2. Now, Star Trek 2, I think's budget was reduced because of how Star Trek was over budget. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But as much as can it be a financial success franchise? And I think Next Gen, they were just trying the model. Oh, it's a popular Star Trek. Why not take the next step to the film franchise? And I'd be interested, I don't know the answer of, like, what was successful if you look at that film franchise. I mean, I assume Insurrection Nemesis were not. But, like, I don't know if, like, Generations was, as from a financial standpoint, big, and then, we can do a second one, and First Contact was big, and then we can do a third. But then, like, as you say, after that, because Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise were not massively popular as TOS and TNG. Nothing against them. I'm just saying as a mass consumption.
Number for number.
And then
they're in a different category.
And then, as you say, Darren, 09 was just because, hey, it's J.J. Abrams, 1. And then 2, we're going to go to TOS, which is this popular zeitgeist with actors that and then and that was successful. And I don't know if I don't think Beyond, which is why 4 did not come instantly. I don't think Beyond was financially successful. I don't think it was a bomb. I don't know. I'd be interested to know if it did better.
I think it's because of Into Darkness is that it didn't do great. But what I was thinking when you were talking there was Star Trek Generations must have made a lot of money because it had to have been super cheap to make. Like they literally were right off the back of season 7. Most of the sets and stuff were already there. All the costumes, you know what I mean? They obviously bought some new lights, but
Daniel,
that was about it.
You say costumes. They were new. They went to DS9. Yeah. The costumes.
Yeah,
and they did spend some money on the sets because they built a new bridge. I say a new bridge, modified bridge.
Yeah. I'm just saying it must have been cheaper than like say First Contact or something like that, where you have to basically do everything from the ground up. But and like they were already filming on that studio, they had been for 7 years at that point. So I just feel like it must have been cheap. But.
Well, movies aren't the only thing we're talking about here on. No.
Thumbs up. Wait.
But no, well. For my main topic today, I was looking around my room, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Slightly not kidding.
Lamp.
But, I started thinking again, and we've talked before about those unseen jobs in Star Trek, the map makers who map out a brand new planet, or I feel like we've kind of seen more of that with like the second contact angle of Lower Decks, which has been kind of cool. But it made me start thinking about, maybe it's because my internet went out a couple times this week. Maybe because we all have our own stories with IT. Like what does IT look like? Not just in the Federation, but just kind of in Star Trek, and then it got me down the rabbit hole of like computer viruses and sentient computers and all this crazy stuff. Because I would think that every single time you connect to a hail from a Klingon ship, it's trying to upload a virus. Like, why would it not? Or what kind of handshake protocol is there for hailing frequencies open to make sure that, do you have your latest firewall patch updated? Guys, we not to jump to Picard, but we did see what happens when you don't have good, network protocols when the entire fleet gets taken over by the board. I don't really want to talk
Darren,
about
there
that,
is no honor in computer viruses. So the Klingons wouldn't do it. The Romulans would do it.
Oh,
clearly.
That's true. So when Tombalak is staring down Picard, he's actually like out of the corner of his eye watching the progress bar of the download.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just imagining Independence
like,
Day.
shall we? Yeah,
I
think that too.
Keep them going.
How long shall we stare across the neutral zone? 10% more, Captain. 10% more.
Why is that Warbird getting so close to us?
Yeah. Why is a giant antenna dish coming out of that docking bay on the side? I knew that wasn't there before.
Darren, now that you've mentioned it, and honestly, I didn't think about it until you've just said it right now. Hasn't every new series, post Discovery and Post, had a computer virus? Because, in other words, Prodigy, when you were saying that, Prodigy is like, that's the whole season.
That's the whole main plot.
Picard, like you said, which I'd kind of forgotten about, because I flushed that out of my head. Because Section 31 Control, gonna flush that out of my
Discovery.
Head.
Yeah.
That was basically that whole
counts.
thing of taking control. So, yeah.
TOS, you have the ultimate computer, the M5 that goes amok. Not quite virusy, but still a computer going bad.
The dangers of AI, Darren, I'm telling you.
Well, in Next Gen, you have, we were just chatting about this, I don't remember the new Vortiform City episode. I always forget
it's one word. And I can't remember what it is.
Emergence.
There you go. Nice.
It's almost like I did a next gen podcast for several years. But yeah, that's the one where
Darren wins the trivia round.
The computer, the computer just manifests a mind. Because that can happen. What about DS9? I'm trying to think.
Attention, Bajoran workers.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. That was a dormant virus left for sure. So yeah, there you go. Trying to think of any other examples.
You also had the Babel virus, which was a virus, but
well, yeah, we don't want to throw that in there.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And then this doesn't really count, but because it's more hardware than software. But the Biogel packs had some trouble in Voyager.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yep.
Well, and I think there's at least one time where the Doctor kind of got taken over by other entities unknown. It's happened a couple times. So there's like that watching species, that the photonic cannon episode.
Yeah.
Did they take over the Doctor? I don't remember that.
They hacked him.
Yeah, they didn't have like direct control of him, but he was basically I don't know what the word is, but kind of a hostage.
They Geordied him.
Yeah. They forged their own tools and took over the Voyager.
Signed and LaForge.
Enterprise, it had to have
that thing was running on like a 260 Windows XP, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're like, no virus came in because we have to push 5 buttons to upload any sort of packet that comes our way, and just nobody did it, so nothing came in.
Before I engage, let me put in the boot disk. All right, hold on.
Yeah. Boot disk 1 of 3.
They were just going by, oh God, what's his name?
Your password cannot be a previous password, Captain Archer.
Archer was following in the footsteps of Captain Galactica. God, what's his name? I can't remember. The guy from Galactica, Admiral.
Adama?
My goodness.
Oh,
Adama. Yeah.
okay.
Where everything is offline. We're not. We learned our lesson.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything wirelessly here. No.
I mean, that's a sidebar, but like, I feel like they kind of say that, but I mean, unless there's physical linkages on levers between the CNC and like other parts of the ship, there's a network, there's data. Like, you can't not have electronics talking to other electronics.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I guess that's true. It's more like we didn't do fleet maneuvers because the Cylons would use that to destroy us.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about Enterprise, and I'm trying to think of all 4 years in my head in 5 seconds. I can never think of the computer ever having an issue.
It's been a long time.
Ever having a what?
A computer issue. I mean,
maybe. Did it ever talk?
Again, that was my second thing.
I don't think so.
Because I think they had to play with it. There's like, okay, it's before TOS.
That's
so
true.
We're not going to have it talk.
It didn't have a talking computer. I don't know.
But it's never like, but there's not even like, in TOS, again.
It was always mechanical things like radiation and valves getting stuck open. Like, that's the kind of stuff that hurt Enterprise.
But there was never like, I have this complex thing, let me put the little thing into the slot and then we have to wait an hour. Which is like, what TOS would do that. And that was kind of legit, even though it's, a long time ago. But yeah, there's never like, we have to, to Paul, or even like, well, I guess to the extent we ever saw, it would be like Hoshi having to wait for the computer translating.
Oh, yeah, Mm-hmm.
But that was about it. I never got like, Trip was never like doing calculations on the whatever.
That's true. Yeah, it was like, this is the Warp 5 ship, not the Warp ship. Like, it just goes faster.
What do they look at? Like, when they're like, they don't have screens, right?
It's true.
I mean, T'Pol had her thing, but
viewer,
like,
they're looking down at things like status displays, and I think
do they have
Travis? I think Travis had like a rudimentary astrogator, kind of like
Yes,
Sulu
yeah, I
had.
do remember that. But you wouldn't be constantly looking at that. That would just be for
They had
reference, right?
they had the main view screen. That's got all your
yes.
needs are satisfied.
That's a big window. That's all it
But I'm
was.
talking about the people at the back.
Captain, you're chatting with the Klingons, but I can't see where we're going unless you put the screen back on forward view. Yeah. It's like, I mean,
oh yes, okay,
prove me
I
wrong.
do remember now.
Prove me wrong that that's not how it works. Where it's his only view, and if you don't, it's like I'm flying.
I remember now because they do have monitors, and they're like standard 2002 monitors. And
they have
that's
laptop
right.
screens
Everywhere.
Yeah.
They're all
But
square.
they're all just like letters and like signals, and it's
blinky lights.
Yeah. Okay. I just couldn't remember. It had been so long since I'd seen it.
Now I'm imagining like every time a Captain Archer's talking to someone, Mayweather's slowly turning the ship to 0 speed because like I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure you could be flying by instruments, but what if there's an ion storm and you can't fly by instruments? It's like there's always ion.
You just slowly see like, are we slowing down? No. Are you done with your conversation?
It's like imagine you're driving down the freeway and someone holds a map in front of your face. What are you going to do? You're going to stop because you don't want to crash into what's out there. Okay. I mean, again, we know that's not how it works,
your
but
destination in 3 recalculating. What did you do, Travis?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just funny because I know that's not how it works, but prove me wrong that they don't need. It's like a little picture in picture in the little corner is like the forward view at all times. And they're like, okay, make that one bigger. I'm sure Travis had something like that on his, or it's like, hey, somebody look out a window. We just got to figure out what's going on.
Archer always has like a little water polo game playing in the small window.
Not that it's directly related, but I do want to say something that 09, I think, sort of created. That's gone on beyond it now is the fact that the main screen viewer is also
on the glass of the window. Yeah. No, which is super honestly, cool. If you think about it, that makes sense that they went to that because that's future tech for us. In TOS, a giant interactive screen, of that size didn't exist. You didn't have a TV that size in the 60s. And even in Next Gen, not the fact that it was bigger, because it was big. It was like floor to ceiling. But the fact that it was that kind of, and they showed it a lot in first season, that it was a hollow chamber, that you could see the side of someone if you stood to the side, which is a little weird when you think about it. But, Anyway. But yeah, it continues the tradition of Star Trek being our future. Now tech.
I'm trying to think. There's an Enterprise episode in my head, and I can't remember what the issue was. Because it was movie night.
Okay.
And suddenly they changed to like watching, like the screen changed to like a camera, and like hey guys, whoever it was on, like deck 15 auxiliary control, unless you guys are going to put on a show for us. So now I'm trying to think why the computer wasn't working, and now I can't remember.
So they had issues at least once.
Yeah. I mean, there's always computer issues. Usually 9 times out of 10, they're holodeck issues. That's where the main problems happen. I think Picard's like, why did we even install this in our ship? Like, is it worth it? Not really.
Well, I think a lot of times the computer issues are hardware issues because I guess the thought was like, it's a computer running, systems, but it's like, and outside this computer systems is space with life forms that we haven't really thought of. And so it's like I'm thinking of the first podcast we all ever did. You had the slimy thing from the Klingon ship go onto the Enterprise to mess up the Enterprise computers.
The space rust was eating away at the hull.
Mm-hmm. That's what it was. Maybe that's what. And then, like, was it the in Enterprise? Maybe this is what it was. Was it the
sphere builder?
Jello? No, the blob of Jello that basically ended up sticking to the cargo bay, and and
everybody kept.
I haven't watched Enterprise in a long time, guys. I'm just going to be real. I don't remember that, but it's probably what it was.
wasn't it? And again, I might be making this up in my head. They were docked with that species that humiliated Archer, and it was like the organic being came from them, because then they had to track him down again.
And ask for help. Yeah, but no, I can imagine. We often see, gold shirts running around and fixing stuff. Lots of blown ODN networks and conduits and plasma manifolds. It was always happening. But I just think it's so fun to imagine, what I kind of wish we had not a lower deck style, or not a lower deck episode, but a style of that where, we focus on some, what's the term? Like master system admin of the ship. And they're like, all they're doing is, they're like, oh, another day of making people reset their password, or something like that. Like it's something mundane and boring. And then it all goes crazy and sideways and they have to actually pick up a phaser and,
there 100% would be a senior member of staff that would be in charge of the computer. There's no doubt about it.
Computer commander.
Computer commander. Oh, there you go. There's your title.
Yeah.
There's your title. And like oftentimes when there are issues with the computer, it's the engineer that handles them, and mechanical engineering and
what? It's totally the same thing, Daniel. Engineer. Have the word engineer in it.
It's not even in the same boat. There's no possible way. Chief O'Brien is the guy that knows how to fix the darn computer, man. I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. But whatever, that's fine.
It's true because this is broadly speaking, that the engineer is the hardware person. So you're like, fine. I mean, that's generally speaking. But
or even
fine.
just the engine. Even if it's just one person, if all they're doing is the engine, that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're like, so surely you know how the, replicator system works. You know how the warp engine works, right? And you're like,
we need to create a new holographic life form. You know how those systems work, right? Like you could program one of those. Like, man, talk about being a generalist. Like you could. I know. There's so many things.
You're like, look, I know how a warp plasma actuator works. Don't expect me to know how the holodeck works, okay?
It's just magic. It's just space magic. I don't even want to know how it works.
Are the engineers faking it? Is that it? They're like, this is kind of like a dilithium chamber. I mean,
but like
kind of.
It's got power. Everything has power.
It seems to run on some form of ODN power.
I know what an EPS conduit does for the impulse engine. I'm not sure how it affects replicators.
What is it? O'Brien, where he's like, I'm going to take this translator and put it right back where it was.
It's like when Beverly is fixing data. In a couple of episodes, and it's like
did you minor in cyberneticism? Like, okay, sure they glad that correspondence class panned out.
Fundamentally, a different discipline.
That's true. If you think about it, once Data gets assigned to a ship, there's got to be some sort of like lieutenant commander, or he's a lieutenant, like some lieutenant that's like, a team that is on whatever ship Data's on to like make sure things are okay. Like you would think that would be just part of his, what's the word? Like, when you're in school, accommodations. It's like part of his accommodations for being in Starfleet.
See, that was it. They didn't give him any. So they're like,
you think it actually, now that you're thinking about it, they probably should have, or they actually kind of did, because remember in that early episode, in Measure of a Man, where the Admiral's just like, oh, we're here to service your android. Like every 10,000 light years, you get an upgrade. But he said it so nonchalantly. I'm like, are there people who like, there should be a whole field of study. It's just Maddox in some closet. That's all he's doing.
Well, that's the to get into the cybernetics of it all. Not that I don't think that there are cybernetic experts in that time, because of course there are. But the thing is, Data is so unique, and I'm not trying to argue the other side of measurement, but like you don't know how he works. I mean, you could guess.
You can't replicate him.
Like,
and I don't mean
unless you take him
replicate or
apart,
replicate. I mean make another. Yeah.
But like, you really don't know how he works. Like, I mean, you can scan him, I suppose, but like,
I mean,
I'm
there'd
not
be
saying
a
we take him
little.
apart.
Well,
But how else do you know how to fix him?
You think there'd be a discussion after the is it Brothers? The one where basically
can we
Data
add lore?
just well, no, not that, but like the fact where the one where all of a sudden Data just kind of locks out and just takes over the entire Enterprise and takes over. Like you think, like I know we wouldn't see this scene, but there should be a scene later where it's, everybody but Data from the senior staff are in the conference room. They're like, okay, so what's the plan? Like, what steps do we need to take to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Data suicide squad?
No, but just like,
you know what you're suggesting. Do you know if they had a captain or a commander computer, he would have been in charge of the security, and they could have been avoided entirely.
So there's another yellow shirt at the end of the table. It's like, well, I brought Commander Computer here to try to come up with something.
No.
Well, they kind of did, because in Insurrection, they have a plan. It's already in the the standard operating procedures have that little device. It only works within a couple meters, but you push it and it shuts down his, servo functions. They have a plan now.
Well, it can temporarily take down Data, but it can't fix what he did. Because if you remember Brothers, they were fixing that computer for hours, right? To unlock it.
Yeah. It took them a long time.
They had to
please enter your 1 billion long passcode. What?
Because the solution was, if I remember correctly, put the transporter in a test mode to make them think that you're all Data. So when they beam you back up, they think you're Data. The computer thinks you're Data. It was something like that.
I don't remember what they did.
Specifics. Yeah. But by the way,
or the binars. A lot of people taking over the Enterprise, guys. That's who Commander. That's who Computer Commander should be. A binar.
Commander and Lieutenant Computer.
Well, the binars are like
one is really upset that the other one got a promotion over him. He really felt it should have been at the same time. Caused a lot of friction. A lot of friction.
So many pips. So they had to do what they had to do. But
it's like, which one's the commander? The one that's always smiling. The other one, not so happy about the situation. What were you saying, Philip?
The binars would be like the contractor you have, because it's their system.
That's true.
And so you can't, this is the contractor who tells you how to do it, and you're like, oh boy, this binar's making how much latinum, and I'm just making.
I mean, I know they're in another part of the galaxy, but I'm just, for sake of the argument, I'm picturing the binar being, wait, you've been running your emergency medical hologram for how long? And did you ever defrag him? Like, ever? It's just, no wonder you're having problems.
Also, I'm imagining in the command structure, Commander Computer's actually not at that meeting because he or she probably reports to either Ops or the engineering team. So they're not even at the meeting. So Ops or engineering is telling them after the meeting, so this is what we discussed and this is what we're going to do. And they're like, what? No. Did you even read the pad I gave you?
I would love the scene afterwards where it's a senior staff meeting and they call him in and, he's all smug. He crosses his arms. He's like, I told you guys. I told you not to do, voice command authorization. I told you.
Oh, okay.
And nobody wanted to listen.
That's the office politics I want to see in like a Lower Decks episode, because I want it to continue this meeting. I wanted to be like, well, did you ask about this? No, I did. It's like, I really should be in these meetings if you're not going to ask the appropriate questions. You don't know what you're talking about. This isn't a warp core. This is a positronic brain. It's a totally different thing.
Commander Computer, exactly what do you do? Well, I report to 7 mid-level directors. I have to turn
and nobody comes to me until something breaks.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything about it when things are running smooth, but nobody comes.
The entire data ship filling out these TPS reports.
Yeah. And, now we're in Commander Computer's office he's got like Data's kind of set up where it's like he's got a giant workstation instead of like a bed. Like he's got a little Murphy bed in the wall because he just doesn't care. But I have to imagine on his little shelf, he's got a collection of like maybe 5 isolinear chips. Like this one was the great virus of what, like he's just got random, like this one was burned out by the ions. Like he has like a little collection of, because he's a little eccentric, guys. I'm just saying, obviously.
I'm just imagining, have you guys ever watched that YouTube video? It's maybe like a year old or something of like the it's fun, comedy thing, but like the Starfleet JAG, who's like, I never get called. I've never even met the captain. Like they use the commander as the attorney. I went to law school, guys, and I'm just imagining that's commander computer. Like I've never met any command personnel ever. I only speak to lieutenant commanders. I'm not allowed to really above Deck 10.
So Riker is accused of killing her father. There's holographic evidence. Like you can't use holographic evidence in a trial. That's inadmissible. Like anybody with a first-year law degree would know that. All these the unseen jobs. It'd be so funny. He's like been dispatched by Philippa, and because she was the JAG.
She was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Although there wasn't a JAG station on the ship of 1,000 people, couldn't find a spot for one person who knew what they were doing.
I wonder if that would be necessary. I feel like probably not, right? You just go to a station if you need to.
But that's the thing, though. Especially that ship, they're designed to be out and about. Like they're not designed to be popping over to starbases all the time, although they usually are. But
how many LCARS updates have there been? Do you think? What version are they running on?
Is there a beta? Is it like Minecraft? We're never going to go alpha. It's just...
Well, I'm just thinking if you're on a long range mission, which the Enterprise D, I mean, it went to Earth, but rarely. If special circumstances, Borg invasions aside. But like,
were they getting a patch notes update during the Baryon sweep on that planet? Because it sounds like a good time to do that.
Because like, are you coming back, after your 10-year mission, and like, oh my god, what system are you running? Jeez, how'd you survive?
Starbase can't even accept our hail. We're so out of date.
You can't even talk. Just take a shuttle. I don't know how to even do this.
Sir, we're getting an AOL instant message from someone.
What we're going to do is we're going to flash the main deflector dish in Morse code. Open the space dock doors. Please, we need the system patch. And then they do, and they're like, although they come back and like, you know what? I don't remember space dock being this big. But hey.
I remember like we just fit in the doors last time. Now it's like,
well, we know for a fact, right, that even right after the ship launched, like within 6 months, they were getting an upgraded system. So during the binary episode, so you've got to think every time they go to a starbase, there are patches and updates and fixes and all sorts of stuff. So.
Well, I think, if we're going to make this real life, like, the Galaxy class project, and even, not even the first one, but each subsequent ship. But, like, you're putting the systems in. I don't know, how long does it take to build a starship? Because, in other words, like any contract, so, like, day one, this is the brand new, guys, we're going to do brand new, no budget, no expense spared. And it's like 5 years later, complete. And you're like, we're going to have to install all new stuff on here because this is all out of date now.
Yeah, I mean, how do they do it now? Like, if they're building a submarine, how do they? I don't know. I have no idea how that problem is fixed because it takes a while to get it out. So
it's just funny you're saying that because I mean, there's construction chronology in my Star Trek: The Next Generation technical manual. I'm like, I remember reading this, like. Mm-hmm. It just talks about like the Galaxy class project.
What year did it start?
And then
the official start of the project was announced on July 2343. So that was when the Galaxy class project started. It was officially commissioned and launched in 2363. So from which I mean, to design a whole class of starship guys. Like, it's not really a surprise.
Well, no. Announcement means very little. That is like, hey guys, Section 31 coming out soon, guys.
But yeah, no, I mean, it talks about like, warp engine system design tentatively frozen, anticipating nacelle design frozen later this year. Impulse design undergoes tweaking. It literally says that.
So
computer cores pass review 3 and 4. It's like I love the like author just like BSing this. Like, I need a document. It's like oh yeah, then some whole skin section showed unacceptable welds. 2% rework to fix the problem. I'm like, I buy that. That sounds like a thing that would happen.
Set back a year,
Yeah. No, I mean, I totally warp engine core is 65% complete. Sure. That sounds like a percent that could apply to the warp nacelles. Anyway, it's just funny how like they write it all out.
It makes me wonder because again, I'm not an engineer, but like the Galaxy class, like in other words, the USS Galaxy, which I assume is the first one. How different is the USS Galaxy from the last Galaxy class? Because I don't think they really made that many for such a good ship that we love. I don't think that class was like.
Well, there's the Lollipop.
But they make like 20 of them. I don't know. They really make a lot. I feel like, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, of course, the newer ones because think of like the Excelsior class, right? Like those ships were in use.
Well, did they make a lot, or did they just live a lot?
Yeah, it's possible. But.
Like no one's taking pot shots at the Excelsior class. They're like, nah. That's why we got 50 million of them.
Those, in Star Trek, the ships are constantly being changed and upgraded and refit, and so I think it would be easy to think that a newer, like I don't know what they'd call it, like maybe Galaxy version 2 or Galaxy, whatever. And
well, I mean, we finally got a real life example, as much as we may not or not like it, but like what's it called? Neo Constitution 2.
It's
like Neo Constitution like 3, because it's meaning that you have the Kirk Enterprise, the Enterprise A is like the version 2 refit, and then that's the other thing. Like I actually like the design of the Titan Neo Constitution, but you always need to show it next to something for scale because it is huge. It is way bigger. It's like kind of like. From bow to stern, it's like the size of an Excelsior class. It is really big, but which makes sense.
Well, compared to a Galaxy or a Sovereign,
teeny,
still not
tiny.
that big. Yeah. Well, I'm just curious, like from just a version, blah 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 perspective. Like, I mean, I know the real reason we're just using models or CGI, but like, it was interesting where they introduced for generations the Neo Excelsior class. I don't know what we call it, but for the Enterprise B, and then they sort of like
I get what you're saying. Like
that,
it's
it's the Lakota. 2. We've always had this design of Excelsior. Yeah, right. Wink.
So I'm looking on Memory Alpha, and there's only like 7 named Galaxy classes.
Two of them we know got destroyed. One in
Enterprise,
Yamamoto.
Yeah,
Yamamoto. Oh yeah, name them all.
Odyssey.
Yep, that's the one that DS9 destroys to show that the Dominion
destroy it. Yeah.
Well, no, but it's to show that the Dominion could destroy the Enterprise.
When else did we see Galaxy class? Let's see if we can remember this.
Well, Galaxy, USS Galaxy. This is named.
We didn't see it. We're just guessing.
This is named, so they might be off screen, but
Enterprise. Saw a few in the fight scenes in the DS9 battle scenes.
So there's the USS Challenger. This was in Endgame. It's the one that Geordi
Kim
was the captain.
Oh, Geordi. Oh,
in the alternative future.
Oh, so that's never going to happen, though. Does that really count?
Like you said, the Syracuse. And then the other one is the Venture. And stop jumping around the website. That one was the Way of the Warrior.
Sure, why not?
The Venture visited DS9.
Dropped Portfall.
Oh, in The Way of the Warrior and Dr. Bashir, I presume. I think it's literally just like we have a shot of the Enterprise at DS9, and so we're going to use that shot.
Don't look too closely.
But and then it has a long list of unnamed Galaxy class starships where it's just because like you said, they're just in the background,
hanging around
in the giant fleet shot. But yeah, there's only seven named.
Did you happen to see, since we're talking about the Enterprise D on the Galaxy class, did you guys happen to see the YouTube video that I posted in the chat?
It was the model or the destroyed model or something.
Yeah. So it's from the episode Cause and Effect. And these YouTubers got, it's the one that they blew up. They exploded it. And so they got a hold of it.
That's cool.
All these different pieces. The whole thing wasn't there. It was missing a good chunk of the star drive section, basically.
I think we know what happened to that chunk of the star drive section.
Yeah, we did.
Frazier
exploding. But anyways, they mounted it on a board in like an exploded type view with all the pieces that they had and hung it up. It's really cool. So,
oh wow,
a little piece of history they got to hold on to.
No, I'll definitely check that out.
I don't know if y'all saw. It was like I didn't really read the article, but something about like they found an old TOS model, or I don't know if it was like it was a TV model or a model. But anyway, I don't know if you saw it.
It was it was the 3 foot, like it was used in the pilot, and it's in that promo shot where like Kirk and Spock are holding an Enterprise, but it lived on Gene's desk. It was like Gene's desk Enterprise model.
I don't know if you then saw Aaron, friend of the show, hold up the animated Enterprise. He's like, I found the original Enterprise model. It was just flat.
That's funny. Yeah. It was in between two sheets of paper this entire time.
It does. I mean, and just for nerdy reasons, that like the difference between those ships, like in other words, 23rd century Excelsior and 24th century Excelsior, because they do look the same. We know why. But anyway, like version? Like, is it like how many computer systems have been?
That's true. You also had the version 2 Excelsior in lower decks.
That's right. What's her face?
Yeah,
right.
Gomez.
Yeah.
So
that was technically, I think, the 2.
Do we ever see any other Intrepid class ships?
Good question. I feel like
we never do.
No.
I know.
I think we might have seen some of the Jaeger kind in the background. That was kind of what a possible Intrepid could have been, but
it's interesting because I mean, they are the Intrepid. I know we've gotten afar here, but the Intrepid is an odd class. I mean, because Galaxy is like, well, it's the flag. Well, I mean, not just a flagship, but like it's the big ship for big ships.
8 flagships, all Galaxy.
And then you have your workhorses, Excelsiors and Mirandas, Science and Obers. But the Intrepid's an odd one because it's the way I've thought about it, and you can tell me what y'all think. It's like special ops. Like we have this very specific mission that we're going to send out the ship for. Like it's not a long term.
We didn't expect it to be a long distance, long term cruiser, but it actually works really well like that. That's true. Yeah, it would have been.
It lands.
That's the interesting thing. Like we see a lot. Yeah, it lands. We see a lot of Galaxies in like the wide fleet shots. But why shouldn't we see just as many Intrepids flying around in those shots?
Or Defiance.
No, they're there. They're just really small. You have to zoom in.
They're so small you can't see them.
They're docked inside the.
Remember, they're the
main
powerful,
shuttle.
They can barely hold themselves together, Darren. Why wouldn't you want a fleet of these things,
doesn't it fit inside the main shuttle bay of the Enterprise D? No, I'm just kidding.
Probably.
That's they're just spiders for the Galaxy class. A bunch of Defiant shootout.
I did see another picture that was it was in like Strange New Worlds and Pike was like, it was like a meme or something, but he was like, okay, launch fighters. And they're like, what? It's like, what, didn't we just have a bunch of fighters that we used to fight like Section 31? Like, where are all the fighters? Like, we need the fighters for this mission. They're like, oh yeah, we don't have those anymore, sir. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I almost think, without knowing really what I'm talking about, the Miranda class, I think they could be replaced by Intrepid class.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, they're about the same size, honestly.
I would think so, yeah. I would think that's roughly close.
Because then, presumably, the Sovereign class has taken over Galaxy class missions.
For big ship stuff?
Yeah, big ship stuff. Big missions for big ships.
Well, we don't see a ton of those either. Even in like Picard and stuff, we don't.
No.
Like, you would think they'd be pretty prevalent, but they weren't part of the copy paste fleet, and don't think we saw them in season 3 either. So, what did Warp do to the Enterprise, anyways? We never found out.
We want to know. We want to know.
No, they'll explain it in some subsequent series. Just like
there'll be a book that'll come out and it'll say like, find the answers. What did happen to the Enterprise B, the Enterprise E? Like all the mysteries will be solved.
What happened is the captain didn't listen to Commander Computer, and that's what happened. So.
They don't even remember that guy or girl. They're like, what happened with Worf? He's like, I don't know, someone who was.
He's like, if you respect me so much, Captain. What's my name? Red
alert! Red alert! Hold on.
Yes, Lieutenant. You hailed me. No, sir, I didn't. You were in a special conference meeting.
Priority alert from mission.
When I triple tap my comm badge, red alert just happens. It's a built-in safety feature. So sorry. Now I'm just picturing again something that would be important in the computer and comm system. Does the computer is red alert like a hot word? Because what if Riker like calls the bridge and he's like, "Hey, Captain, should we be going to red alert?" And all of a sudden, because you said it. Like every time he says red alert to his comm badge, it happens immediately. So
I got level.
There's got to be some sort of macro. Oh yeah, it's not red alert. It's red alert.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a very easy answer to this, Darren.
Okay, please enlighten me.
And it's the same reason. How the doors work like they
is there a wake word for red alert? That's what I do need to know.
No, the true answer that we don't talk about, the quiet part that we don't say out loud, is that the ship is very smart and is paying attention and watching you all the time.
Yeah.
It very well knows.
It knew you didn't want to actually leave Deanna's quarters yet. You had to wait for her to respond, and then when you turn again, then the door is going to open because you are standing within the threshold of the door, but it is not opening yet.
We don't have security cameras.
No, don't need those. Don't need those.
Intent. The cameras are just for intent. Like, what is this guy doing?
Why would we need security cameras if something crazy is going on in engineering? You know what you should do? You should come down and see. Just get down here. Get down here. Sure, it's gonna take you 3 minutes, but I can't even describe what I'm looking at right here. Look, okay, we were test firing this phaser, and we thought it'd be a great idea to aim it towards the warp core. Hopefully it doesn't miss the target. Yeah, I remember that episode. That was
all right, Commander Computer. If you're so smart, how come I can never cancel a shuttle launch every time there's one happening? Huh, Mr. Ideas?
Yeah,
tell me how that button doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's like someone's powering up. They're launched. Sorry,
they beamed over.
They've already left the bridge, guys. There's nothing else I can do. I'm all out of ideas.
We've talked about it before. They're like, "Hey, computer, here's a macro to just always run. If anyone is ever not on board the Enterprise anymore, just let me know. Just flag. Just give Commander Computer, give somebody a call, because so many times after the fact we're like, where's Lieutenant Data? Lieutenant Data is no longer on the board. So when did he leave? Well, he beamed off like 3 hours ago. Why did nobody tell us? Oh man, I know it would solve plot issues, which is why they don't do it. But
so Daniel, because of how open society Starfleet and a starship is, what would be computer commander's biggest complaint? Because there's no passwords. There's no
there's voice
barriers.
passwords.
Barely.
1A, 2B, 3C. It's really basic. It's not
voice print.
Yes. But the thing is that they don't even need that.
There's like retinal scans and
the computer knows who you are. That's why Data shouldn't even been able to be successful, because the computer knew that was not Picard saying those words out.
The computer's all like, Data, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like I know you're not Picard. I can see you right here. Like every screen
right in front of the webcam, dude.
Every screen on this ship is a camera. Every screen. I know Picard's not here. He's in Turbolift 5, heading to the battle bridge. I know where Picard is. He's not on the bridge.
I'm not giving you command just because you know some numbers, man.
Like, I would just imagine the major computer voice, like, warning, BS detected.
No, that's the thing. I know exactly what would have happened is Picard's in the turbolift heading to the battle bridge, and all of a sudden his tricorder chirps, and it opens up and says, hey, looks like you want to reset your password.
Someone's trying to log into your account.
If this is not you...
If you are trying to reset your password, don't worry about this email. It's totally not a problem. But if you are, click here to confirm it's you. Look, a little two-factor authentication goes a long way. That's all I'm saying.
But Darren, there's no pockets. Where am I keeping my
Well, unfortunately, he's not on a mission right now, so he doesn't have a tricorder on himself at all times.
Belt. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a fun, winding conversation, as they always are here on City Alpha 3. Philip, if someone wanted to talk to you about the ever-present tricorder, they're going to just start injecting it into your hand. Where do they find you?
They can reach me on my implanted device on Instagram at Captain SFUFP.
And Daniel, if someone wanted to figure out how to convince the computer, hey, they're not in the turbolift, it's just the comm badges, where would they find you?
If only there was a way for the computer to know.
If only. Building security's gone way down in the 24th century, okay? We just trust people.
They can find me at OneUpDan. That's the number one, not the word.
And if someone wanted to talk to me about Star Trek, Star Wars, or everything in between, they could go to drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI. Well, I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
Stranded here with two-factor authentication on SETI Alpha 3.